Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. So yesterday we went over the personal skills of a load of the characters from Engage, and today I'm going to go over a lot of the bond skills slash, things we get from bond levels for all the emblem rings. It's levels 1 to 10 on Marth, Celica, Sigurd, Micaiah and Roy. And again, it's from Nintendo World Report, who posted loads of useful information, and I'll leave a link to them below again. So the first one we see is Perceptive for Marth. Let me just say, we would have seen quite a few of these before, but there are ones I hadn't spotted previously, and it's always good to see English translations and not just the Japanese where people had to figure it out. So yes, I'll go through them. Also, I'll try and be quick with each one because there's loads to go through. I won't analyse them as much as I did for the skills yesterday. So the first one for Marth is Perceptive. That's if the unit initiates combat, grants avoidance plus 15 during combat, and avoidance increases with higher speed. So, yep, that's just a great skill. Obviously, Marth's really good at just attacking people and, hitting them without getting hit back, and a lot of his skills will show that. Just avoid plus 10, that's always useful. Divine Speed, unit performs an extra attack at 50% damage in combat. A great thing. We've seen it activated a few times in gameplay, but it's just another extra attack and some more damage. Lodestar Rush, this is, Maya's emblem kind of ability. You use it, the emblem move thing, and like combat art type thing, and uses launch 7 consecutive sword attacks at 30% damage. So basically just Astra, but kind of a bit different, 7 instead of 5 halved. Rapier is one of the weapons you get, so it's a sword wielded by Marth. We all know what it is, and it's of course effective against horses and armoured, so cavalry and armoured units. And we know that Lucina and Erica also give rapiers. I think that's just the only ones who give them as well. Sword Agility 1 grants avoidance plus 10 at the cost of crit minus 10 when using a sword. Again, useful ability to not get killed, and if you're dealing enough damage and don't need a crit to kill, it will be a great skill to use. Break Defenses, if unit's attack breaks foe, unit makes an extra attack at 50% damage. So the way this will trigger is after your attack, if you are doubling, let's say, you will deal your damage, and if it breaks, then you will get the Break Defenses attack straight after, and then you'll do your second attack, and then Divine Speed would trigger then. If you were only doing one attack, then Divine Speed would trigger straight after the Break Defenses. And then again, just avoid plus 15, more avoid, just better than the avoid plus 10. Skill Inheritance, unit can inherit this emblem skills. Sword Agility 2, grants avoidance plus 15 at the cost of crit minus 10 when using a sword. Which again, yep, just an upgrade on the previous one, 15 instead of 10. Unyielding at the start of player phase, if HP is 20% or less, it restores 20% of the unit's max HP. Quite a useful skill, but the requirement to be 20% or less HP and only restoring 20%, how often are you going to be surviving a hit when you're on 5 and going up to 15? Is that going to help you that much? I'm not sure, or even less. So not a great skill in my opinion, but anyway, still sometimes useful. And if there's an Unyielding 2, that will be a lot better. Sword Agility 3, just avoidance 20 instead of the previous 15 and 10. Sword Proficiency, and it just gives proficiency with swords. So if you have a high bond level with Marth, and you don't normally have a high sword proficiency, as in your character doesn't have sword proficiency, then you then get it. So it will be really good for getting new classes. We've talked about this in the class changing I've talked about a little, but I'll go into class changing more later in another video. We know that you can get these proficiencies from the emblems, and that will allow you to change classes into classes that require that proficiency. Avoid plus 20, just an upgrade, good. Avoid plus 20 is amazing, that will make you so dodge tanky, great on fast units. And then Mercurius, Marth's sword, and it doubles the user's earned experience, so that'd be really nice to get Marth to 10 early and then quickly level up your unit who's got bond level 10 with Marth by using Mercurius. And it's a pretty good weapon, might 12 and hit 80. And remember, you can upgrade these weapons in the emblem buffing area. I forget this name. Celica, she gives magic plus 2, standard. Holy Stance, if the corrupted attacks unit deals 10% of damage taken back to foe. We've seen a load of the corrupted enemies, and yep, it's a useful skill. I think she does get an increased amount of this later on, but we'll see. Echo, used to attack with magic at 50% damage, and then use a second time to launch another 50% attack. We've seen this use, and if there are 2 enemies near you on 10 HP, and your damage would normally be 20 to one of them, it will allow you to split up that damage and deal 10 to each of them in 2 separate attacks. So very useful for finishing off low health enemies. Or Ragnarok, we've seen this a load of times, and this is basically Celica's prime move that you'll be using, and this allows you to teleport 10 spaces and make a very powerful magic attack, which is Ragnarok. Flyers will get increased range on this. I'm pretty sure it's +5, so they'll be able to move 15 spaces and use Ragnarok. So massive map presence for them with Celica. Seraphim, effective against Corrupted, unsurprisingly, just like it was in Echoes. And yeah, it's just a good tome. It'll be useful. It'll be great early on when you're fighting those Corrupted. It'll make Celica very, very strong. Magic +3, so it's better Magic +2. Resonance, when equipped with a tome, if unit's HP is 2 or more, unit loses 1 HP at the start of combat and deals +2 damage during combat. So just some extra tome damage, and yeah, it's useful. A bit like a push skill in Heroes. Tome Precision 1 grants hit/avoidance +3 when using a tome. Sure, just kind of useful. Pretty low stats, but I'm sure, again, we know it's Tome Precision 1, so there'll be a better version. Skill Inheritance, unit can inherit this emblem's skills. So yeah, same thing as Marth. Magic Proficiency, level 6. So again, yeah, being able to get magic classes if you don't normally have access to them. Tome Precision 2 grants hit/avoidance +5 when using a tome. So just a better version. Favorite food, when this unit eats a packed lunch, its engaged meter is maxed out. Oh wow, that's very interesting. So if you just bring, I'm not sure exactly what qualifies as a packed lunch, and I don't know how common they'll be, but that allowed you to just get Celica's engage meter back up to max straight after it's finished. So you can use Celica's engage form a lot. So that would be really strong actually. A surprisingly good ability for just, yeah. And obviously that comes from Echoes where you just eat random food to heal up a lot. Tome Precision 3 grants his avoidance +7 when using a tome, starting to look a lot better with that. Sword Proficiency, which makes sense because Celica can use swords and tomes in SOV. And Recover. So, yep, just granting access to a staff to allow people to heal. Very useful for non-healers. Sigurd, we've got Gallop, which grants movement +5, and they've skipped Canter and Hit, but we know Canter allows you to move a bit after taking an action with your remaining movement, and Hit +10 is of course Hit +10. Override, used to attack and move through a line of adjacent foes. We've seen Alfred doing this in the original trailer and some other clips of people doing this. And yeah, you can kind of go through multiple foes at once. It kind of reminiscent of some of the gambits in Three Houses where you deal damage to multiple units in a straight line, but it seems very useful, and it's a sword and lance only ability. Rider's Bane, lance wielded by Emblem Sigurd, and it's effective against cavalry. We've seen this in previous games, and yeah, that would just be useful. Lance Power 1 grants attack +2 at a cost of avoidance -10 when using a lance. So not amazing early, but again, it's good for finishing off lower health units, which a lot of cavalry seem to be geared towards in this. Momentum grants attack +1 to first attack during combat for each space unit moved before attacking. So this is something straight out of Fae with kind of like the clash skills and other things we've seen. So yeah, that's interesting. That's going to obviously be really good on Sigurd because you can move half the map with all his ridiculous movement buffs. Get +15. Skill Inheritance, again. Lance Power 2 grants attack +4 at the cost of avoidance -10. And yeah, that's... Oh, okay, so they went back to the top, sorry. Lance Proficiency. Proficiency with Lancers required for promotion to certain classes, etc. Headlong Rush grants immunity to freeze. Wow, I actually have no idea what that means. I'd love to hear what you guys in the comments think if that's been said before. I'm not sure if that's freezing staffs or if that's something else related to the game. Lance Power 3 grants attack +6 at a cost of avoidance -10 when using a lance. Sword Proficiency, yep. And Brave Lance. Lance wielded by Emblem Sigurd, if unit initiates combat, attacks twice, like Brave weapons in most previous games. And yep, there it is. It's always an extremely useful weapon. Brave weapons, super good. And when I said in previous games, Echoes did not have traditional Brave weapons, they were just high crit weapons. Now on to Micaiah. She grants resistance +2 as her first one. The standard, useful. Cleric, unit can equip staves up to level C. Yep, useful, that's very nice actually. Augment grants staff range +5 and area effect +1. Wow. An area of effect +1. Oh wow. So heal will be 6 range, and then hits in all adjacent units too. That is quite an impressive early skill. We'll have to see that more. I mean, you know, we'll have to see that in action. But anyway, that seems very good. Great Sacrifice, used to restore full HP to all allies, even those not under the player's control. Oh wow, so that's... Oh, that makes Micaiah super useful on maps where you have, you know, ally green units who you can't control and you need to stop them from dying. Super good, that Great Sacrifice. And obviously just good in general and makes Micaiah really strong. And make sure you have another healer with you who can heal up Micaiah after using that. Or, you know, whoever's got Micaiah attached to them. Shine, light tome wielded by Emblem Micaiah, and again it's really nice that we have light tomes in the game, and it illuminates a 5 space radius and it shrinks by 1 per turn, so that's really interesting. That's something you have to keep an eye on. I hope there'll be a little counter to tell you, but on Fog of War maps you're definitely going to want to bring Micaiah. For anyone who's played Advance Wars, Micaiah's shaping up like Sonya. Staff Mastery 1 grants him plus 10 when using a staff. Staves also heal an additional 3 HP. Nice. Wait. Like, grants hit plus 10. Okay, so I had to double back on this. So hit plus 10, I guess, when using offensive staffs, because I assume you cannot miss a healing weapon. And then you also get 3 HP extra healing. So yeah, this is really nice for healers so far for Micaiah. Healing Light. When unit heals an ally with a staff, unit also recovers HP equals 50% of the amount healed. Classic. We've seen this on things previously. Mercy is my most recent memory of a unit who could do this with their skill. Staff proficiency, yeah, proficiency with staves. Resistance plus 3, sure, and skill inheritance. Knife proficiency, very interesting. I like that, so kind of a little callback to Soth, I guess. Silence Ward grants immunity to silence, so that's useful, I guess. It depends how many silences the enemy's going to have, but still a useful thing to have. And you don't have to equip all of these, you know, it's good to have little tools that might be good on certain maps. Staff Mastery 2 grants hit plus 15 when using a staff. Staves also heal an additional 5 HP. So again, just a better version. Magic Proficiency, which obviously is very useful. So having staff and magic proficiency, you can just turn anyone you want into like a healer and mage. And Nosferatu, which is obviously a classic, fantastic and useful weapon. And it's, as it says, light tome wielded by Micaiah. User recovers HP equal to 50% of damage dealt. And I hope we also see Thani later as a higher level bond weapon, but I'm not 100% sure. And yeah, just being able to dodge tank and heal up, or just tank with Nosferatu, massively useful because of the healing. Next is Roy. The first one is Strength plus 1, which is just Strength plus 1. Hold out. If unit has 30% HP or more at start of combat, unit always survives combat with at least 1 HP. So that's really useful. I love that. Super good for your frontliners. Rise Above grants level plus 5. Oh yes, we've seen this before. So again, it's quite funny how Roy basically gets level capped for 20 for the entirety of his game until like the last few battles, and that he gives level plus 5. So yeah, makes complete sense. But that's going to be useful. It's just I'm not sure what the extra stats it will give exactly are and how it's relevant. We'll have to see later, but probably a pretty useful skill. Blazing Lion, we've seen this in action in Roy's Emblem Ring video. If you haven't watched any of them, make sure to check out. I've got them all up on my channel, all 12, and recently posted a compilation of all 12 of them in one video, all subtitled for English viewing. So, used to attack adjacent foe and an area 3 spaces wide. Target area and the 2 rows beyond it are set on fire. So, yeah, extra fire damage on them too. Bring out Roy's kind of fire thing he's gotten. Lance Weaver, unusual sword wielded by Emblem Roy, grants advantage versus lancers but disadvantage versus axes. So yeah, just swapping the weapon triangle. We know that Corrin also gets one of these, and yeah, they're just useful things to have if you're a sword user and you want to fight some lancers. So yeah, that'll be very useful. Diamant, I'm sure will love that. Strength plus 2. Advance, used to move 1 space towards a foe that is 2 spaces away and attack. Huh. Okay, so just a bit of extra, just 1 extra movement and get an attack in. I'm not sure exactly how it will work. Is it just 1 extra movement and you're forced to attack? Interesting. We'll have to see that in, like, you know, if you can do something before doing that. I assume not. But I guess the 1 extra movement if you're trying to engage someone is useful. Sword Power 1 grants attack plus 2 at the cost of avoidance minus 10. Sure. Gold Inheritance, Sword Proficiency. Yep. And then when grants attack +4 at a cost of avoidance -10 when using a sword, so just a better version. Hold out plus, if unit had 20% HP or more at the start of combat, unit always survives combat with at least 1 HP, so 20% or more now, so that's super good. So you can take at least two hits basically always while Roy is equipped to you, unless you're getting one shot, because as long as you survive on over 20% HP from the first attack you take, you can always take another and survive on 1 HP. And it could be multiple hits too in one combat. Impressive skill. Strength +3, sure. Sword power +3, grants attack +6 at a cost of avoidance -10 when using a sword. So really you can get 9 extra attack if you're a sword user, because you've got the +6 attack from the swords and the +3 strength. So Roy can really be bumping up your damage and one-shot potential. Blades will definitely be useful with Roy. And then Worm Slayer, sword wielded by a Roy, effective against dragons, and it's got some decent might of 10. Nice. That's all the ones we've seen so far. I'm sure if you look around, we can, we've gone over some of the previous skills and talking about stuff in the past that we've seen, obviously translated from Japanese. Most of them we've seen a few shots of them, but this is all of the ones for these 4. Hopefully I can do a video talking about the rest of them if that information is put out there. But yeah, for now that's them. Let me know which one of the emblem rings you thought had the best overall skills and which skills you think are the best, or weapons, etc. And have a lovely rest of your day, guys. Make sure to join the Discord if you want to chat to other people about Engage and just Fire Emblem in general and Heroes. And follow me on Twitch if you like, but I won't really be streaming Engage stuff there. It will mainly be Fire Emblem Heroes. All my Engage stream will be on YouTube, and I will be streaming the whole game, a whole playthrough when it comes out, and some other Fire Emblem stuff in the future. Ciao Bella, see you guys later.